see these beautiful flowers? These flowers are part of a family with over 30,000 known species in the wild, captivating humans for hundreds of years. Orchids have conquered every type of ecosystem, reaching every continent except Antarctica. But these beautiful flowers are cheating, manipulative, mooching, The reason orchids are so successful is they can extract energy from fungi growing around their roots. This has helped them to thrive in low-light environments like dense jungles and thick swamps. Over time, they have become less photogenic, and several species have actually become dependent on their fungi friends to give them sugar for energy. 70% of all orchids grow on trees, and 2/3 of all living plants that make trees their home are orchids. They absorb moisture and nutrients from the air and tree to store it in their pseudobulbs. Shout out to the ancient Greeks that used the pseudobulbs as an aphrodisiac. Most flowers offer nectar for pollinators, but 1/3 of orchids have found clever ways to manipulate and trick animals into pollinating them. One great example of this is the European bee orchid. It emits the sex pheromone of a female pollinator bee and attracts males in. The males then try to mate with the flower thinking it's a female bee, getting covered in pollen in the process and leaving. But why don't the bees stop and learn that there's no freaking ladies on the flower? Well, subtle deviation allows the trick to continue working. Another similar circumstance is the Australian hammer orchid. They do the same thing to trick wasps, emitting the odor of the opposite sex. Some orchids are so butthurt, they just copy other flowers. They just look like other flowers that pollinators want to pollinate, and they just are unoriginal copies. Look at these hissing cockroaches, bro. With thousands of species across the globe, most of them are only suited for one area on Earth. With their wild looks and variety, they were bound to catch the eye of a human. In 19th century England, the so-called orchid delirium caused orchids to become part of our culture. Rich aristocrats would pay off orchid hunters to find the most exotic and exclusive orchids. Trying to make a sense of exclusivity, the orchid hunters would burn down and chop the orchid's natural habitat to make a sense of value. Wow. Aren't humans the best? Look at this bird, he just chilling, bro. He ain't got a care in the world. Wait, back to what I was talking about. Orchid hunters had mad beef, bro. They would often engage in misadventure and devious acts, such as burning down forests, chopping down forests, purposefully waterlogging roots, overly hot greenhouses, and straight up pissing on the rivals' plants. I didn't make it up. I didn't make the rules. They did that. Now, personally, I think the reason humans are so stuck by this flower is because it's bilaterally symmetrical. This is how most animals are built, like me and an elephant, but it's rarely found in the plant world. And it gives a sense of familiarity and wonder at the same time. Artists have been depicting orchids since ancient China. Ancient China is where it was likely first cultivated. And even artists like Georgia O'Keeffe have explored the beauty of the orchids and have likened it to the parts of the female body. I mean, the name originated from the Greek word testicles. I don't know why this plant is so sexualized. I don't know why it is. But when you look at it, tell me you don't feel some type of way. Orchids just have an unmatched beauty to them like nothing ever seen never mind, bruh. But let me show you some of my favorite orchids real quick. Like, some of these names are gold. Here's the first one, is pretty light. Virgin. These two are like a double whammy. We got the Naked Man and Hooker Lips. This one's called Empress Frederick. I don't know who named these flowers, but if these are the guidelines for naming flowers, sign me up. Sign me up. Where do I drop all my resume? I'll be posted up at the taxonomist with the honey and the blue chew. Like, stop playing. Back to the point. Instead of living in fertile soil like other plants and competing with them for nutrients, they decide to live in undesirable locations with no competition, like trees and rocks. They mooch off the fungi and trees close to them for energy and cheat pollinators with their pheromones. In 2010, police in the UK stood watch to guard the last lady slipper orchid, making sure no one would steal it through the night. US scientists are breeding cigar orchids and planting them back into their native range in the Everglades, all just to save this cheating plant. I mean, some of them do make vanilla. The dried seed pods of one orchid genus make vanilla, you know, for like ice cream and bacon and aromatherapy. Now, the Greeks weren't lying when they said orchids brought light to Venus. The underground tubers of terrestrial orchids were ground and put into a powder and used for cooking, such as in hot beverages or in ice cream. Arabics also said they had an aphrodisiac effect. But it just goes to show that this plant really has just struck a wonder in the human brain, and we just can't do anything about it. I've seen moms go crazy over this plant. There are people that go crazy over this plant. It was called orchid delirium for a reason. These people were going out, risking their lives for pretty flowers. For what reason? Because they looked pretty. And I hope you learned something. I hope I made your day a little better. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And anyways, I'll see y'all later.
I need your touch, yeah, I need your touch, bitch. I need your touch, yeah, I need your touch, bitch. I need your touch, I don't need no love, bitch. I count it up.
Y'all gotta see this kid, though. It's just eating the soggy Cheerios of life.